if a Ghanaian has any kind of information about any way of making money or anything, they want to keep it to themselves. They will never, ever share with anybody. They're going to go to the grave with it. They will never share it. It's funny because it's not like that with other nationalities, you know.
You are listening to Money Matters Podcast. Step into a world full of worth and financial intelligence. Dedicated to bringing awareness, empowering the world to financial freedom and personal development.
Once again, welcome to the Money Matters Podcast. I go by the name Clever Pinero. I'm in the studio with a professional investor, Alex. And today we're going to be talking about how Ghanaians can build generational wealth in America. There's a lot of Ghanaians in America, and we want to make sure that our children that we're going to bring out here, the next generation that comes from Ghanaians in America right now, have some kind of financial support or financial backbone to like stand on and also build wealth. So we need to focus on trying to build generational wealth to make sure that, you know, the children that we bring up, they have something to stand on to build themselves and not start from scratch, as, you know, not live the same life that you're living, but, you know, you do something to help them and they build, and the generation that comes after them build, and everybody just build on top of everybody else. And we're going to have a strong community, a strong, you know, Ghanaian community in America. If not, everybody's going to come to America, do the same thing, go back home, do the same thing, go back home. And we're always going to start from scratch because there's no backbone, there's no support, there's no information to stand on. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Any comments, Alex?
Yes. Because even in the Bible, it says we should leave inheritance to our children's children. So it's not just about us. We should always look into the future and see how best we could prepare the way for those that will come after us. So this is something that we got to take really, really serious.
Yeah, it says a good man leaves inheritance for his children's. So not just your children, you know, you want to leave inheritance that are going to last for a long time. So without wasting too much time, we're going to get to some of the ways or some of the things that we think Ghanaians should have in mind in America, you know, should do to, you know, to give themselves a huge chance of building generational wealth. The first on the list is we should diversify our streams of income. Ghanaians should diversify their streams of income. There's a lot of Ghanaians in America that just focus on their jobs. Most Ghanaians in America just focus on their job, their 9 to 5, and they just come back home, and do nothing else. If you just keep your 9 to 5 and you do nothing else, you're not going to make any money. You know, you're always going to make the same money that you make every year because you're not doing nothing else. You want to make sure that you're getting money from different avenues. You want to get yourself involved in like other opportunities like real estate, stocks. You want to find ways and means to have your money work for you. So not to just focus on your income, your job, the money from your job, but to find other avenues, creating businesses, being creative to, you know, find different ways. Don't just do just the same thing. There are multiple ways that you know, to make money. So diversify the way or the avenues that you make money.
Yes, that's so important because the 9 to 5 is only programmed to keep you surviving. It's not something that's you're gonna be able to do and spend some and save some. So for you to be able to actually look into things that would set up some inheritance and stuff for the generations that will come after you, you should consider looking at other things, not just your 9 to 5. And I think we are so glued to just our 9 to 5s. Once we find a job that pays us enough that would take care of the rent and maybe a car note or some insurance and other needs, that's it. We should start looking at other avenues where we can also make extra money to start investing for the generation that will come after us.
Yep. And the second on the list is Ghanaians in America must be strategic. Yep. You know, we got to find other ways to have our money work for us. The money that we make from our 9 to 5, we got to find ways to channel that money to work for us and bring some money in. What are some of the ways that you could have your money work for you? There are multiple ways. You could be investing in other people's businesses. You could be buying stocks, bonds. You could invest in real estate. You could do Uber. So many things. You could create your own business. Create your own business and try selling other products online. There are multiple ways to make money. Be strategic. Find out how other people are making money. You don't have to just do what we're saying. Do your research. Find out how other people are making money. Try to mimic the same thing and do the same thing. Because if other people are doing it, you could do it too. So be strategic. Find ways, different ways other than your job. Because your job is only going to make you a living. You want to make sure you have other avenues that you could sit down and plan how you're going to make money. If you're going to put your money in stocks, if you're going to create a brokerage account, so many other things are out there that you could do. So don't just stick with your 9 to 5 and just, like they always say, use your 9 to 5 to fund what you really want to do, or fund other business opportunities, or fund other money making opportunities.
Exactly. Like they say, money is a tool, not a goal. Money is what you use to make money. It shouldn't be something that once you make it, that's it. Once you make it, that's when you start using it to work for you.
Right.
So you shouldn't be living by the moment. You know what I'm saying? I've made 1,000 or 2,000 today, so let me go out and do some shopping and buy some things that I think will look good. No, this is the time you have to sit down and look and plan and listen, and you know what I'm saying, how am I going to be able to use this $2,000 to make another $1,000 or $2,000 more? So you sit down and plan and strategize so you don't just make money and eat. It's a tool. It's not a goal. So you make it, you have to make sure the money that you've made is also going to be making you more money.
Yep. And the next on the list is Ghanaians in America should try to own stuff. You want to own things. You don't want to just be a consumer. You don't want to just rent. You don't want to just keep depending on others. You want to own stuff. If you own stuff, you have absolute control over it. That's
pretty much stop being consumers only. You have, you know what I'm saying?
Basically.
Because if you're consuming, you're always spending money. If you're not producing or selling or owning anything that brings in money, you're always going to be chasing money to spend.
Right.
So the more you chase without any properties or any investments, the more you're going to be spending. And at the end of the day, you make money, you spend, you come back to zero. So let's start planning for businesses, investments and stuff. Like they say, money is a tool. So once you make a little bit, the little that you make should also go back and bring more. It shouldn't be something that you make to consume and that's it. So let's stop being consumers only. Let's get out there and start some businesses and start, sending the money that we make out to go bring more.
Yeah, you want to learn to be producers. You want to be able to produce and not just consume. If you are here just renting an apartment or stuff like that, you want to have in the back of your mind that you want to own your own place at some point. You want to own the apartment that you're living in. You want to own your own house. You want to own your own everything. So you want to make sure that you not just consuming, own your own. Like if you rent, this guy, Grant Cardone, he be saying, you want to own what you rent and rent what you own. What that boils down to is own your own place, and you get absolute control over everything. So we want to plead to most Ghanaians in America, try and own something. Own your own place or own a business, own something. That's when you're going to be producing somehow and not just be a consumer. The next on the list is we must start looking beyond cash, because Ghanaians in America, majority of Ghanaians in America just focus on just cash. Cash is not the only asset. We focus on cash too much, and we tend to ignore other things that we could make money from. We could make money from gold, diamonds. We could make money from other businesses, in other investments like stocks, bonds, and shares and all these things. So the focus shouldn't only be on cash, because cash depreciate over time. But if you invest in your cash into real estate or any other avenues, you're gonna be building equity on top of it and also making money at the same time. So not just focus on cash, but focus on other avenues to make money, other commodities that we could use to make money, other strategies, other businesses and stuff like that. Sometimes you could have gold or diamond in your hand, and it will be worth more than the cash you have in your pocket. So you want to make sure that you have the gold. Gold could go down, it could go up, but you're better with gold than just having cash. Our focus is so much on cash, like it's crazy. So we want to shift from cash and think of other commodities that we could make money from.
Exactly. Because of inflation and depreciation, cash is always diminishing. The more you have sitting for the longer the money just sits in the account, the more money you lose. Not because you're spending the money, but because of inflation and depreciation. So if you have money in Ghana, especially the exchange rate, it's always going up. So if you have cities just sitting in Ghana without making you any money, at the end of the day, you're not even going to be able to exchange that money back to dollars to make the dollars that you used to make the money there. So let's always look into things that will also attract interest and attract appreciation. You know what I'm saying? There are things that the prices are always going up. So if there are things that are with prices going up all the time, let's look for these things. And if you're going to have money just sitting in the bank for 5 years, 7 years, or whatnot, why not put it into some of these things? Because at the end of the day, the price will appreciate. If you buy a land in Ghana and you're able to protect it, in 5 years' time, you're probably going to be doubling your money, or probably, going to be making at least 1.5 or something like that. So, stuff that will always add value and appreciate in value. So these are the things that we got to look into.
Yep. And the next on the list is we must be risk takers. We're talking about calculated risk,
Oh, man.
We got to learn how to stay out of our comfort zone. You don't want to keep staying in your comfort zone, because if you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to get the same results. You want to take risks, give yourself a chance. Not all the risks that you take is going to work the way you're planning it, but you want to take risks, because if you don't do nothing is going to happen. Take risks, give yourself a chance. Get yourself involved. You got to be in the game. If you're not in the game, you're not going to win. You got to be in the game to win. If you're not in there, you don't know what's going to happen. And the biggest risk is not taking one. So you want to make sure that you take calculated risk.
And I think there's a Chinese saying that says the difference between the master and the follower is because the master has failed so many times, way more than the follower has. You're not going to get up there on that one trial. You're going to try and you're going to hit. Sometimes you're going to miss, but that should not deter you from, getting back up and going to do it again. All right. So we have to open our minds and look at other avenues. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be so scared to just curl in our little corners and into our shells and not get out there. Because it's funny, because the other nationalities come here and they get out there and do stuff. But then we always be thinking, hey, man, this person did this and that happened. That was that person. And that is you. All right. So the biggest risk, like he said, it's not taking one. Let's get out there and put ourselves on the successful road to succeed.
Because, most Ghanaians feel like when you go to work and you get paid and the money's in your pocket, that's the safest place. That's what they always say. Oh, my money's in my pocket. That's the safest place. But you got to remember, scared money don't make no money. It stays in your pocket and get wrinkled. So you want to make sure that you let your money, put your money to work. Don't just be the one going to work all the time. Let that money go to work for you. Find different ways. Do your research, strategize, find different ways to get your money to work for you and take some of the risks out there. Because at the end of the day, you do nothing's going to happen. And, life is always going to go on. There's always ways around everything. So try to take risks and try to do things that could give yourself a chance to better your life. The next on the list is to be optimistic. This is like some kind of a epidemic among Ghanaians. Like, whenever you try to do something you suggest to any Ghanaian, they will give you all the negative facts of everything that could potentially go wrong. and forget about all the positive side, anything that could potentially go right. They will just try to discourage you as much as they can. Like, they will discourage you. So you want to make sure that you optimistic.
Yeah, if I want to get into something new and I'm not sure of what the disadvantages are, I know a guy that will give me everything that could go wrong with it. All right. He's just so like pessimistic that you go tell this guy, he's telling you, hey man, this could happen, that could happen, this is not gonna work, da, 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 da. And at the end of the day, I always go to him because I know he's going to give me all the bad sides. And yes, I do need that. That's what he's good for. But that's not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some optimism, and you see some opportunity. There's always risk attached to everything. But remember, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. So don't let that deter you. Let's get out there and do it.
Yeah, just try to stay away from negative people, Stay away with like-minded, positive people that are going to push you to want to be the best you can, that have the same desire, the same passion to want to be successful, to want to be great. Stay away from negative people, People don't see your vision. It's your vision. That's why they don't see it. It's your vision. If it's your vision, how is somebody else supposed to see it? Your vision, you're the only one seeing it. Think positive. Be optimistic and push, because there's always, people that are going to be pessimistic and try to, discourage you or give you all the negative side. That's going to, stop you from doing what you want to do. Forget about those people. Be optimistic and push and try to get the best. That's the only way. All the people that you see out there that you want to be like, they were once like you and they were optimistic. So you want to be like that. The next on the list is you must not do it alone. You don't want to be the only person doing it. Everybody has time and you might be able to accomplish everything. But if you are able to work together in a group, people, like-minded people, you'll be able to achieve everything faster. If you're doing it yourself, it's going to take a long time. You're going to take so much hit sometimes that it's going to discourage you, Imagine if you're working on $100,000 project and you put $100,000 in there and you lose all that money. You might be able to bounce back, but it will take a long time to bounce back. But if you just have a lot of people, let's say 10 people, everybody came up with $10,000 and you guys lose $100,000, that's only $10,000 you lost. It's easier to come back from that. So you want to make sure that you don't do it alone. You get like-minded people to take chances with. And I know it's hard to find those kind of people, but you got to search and try to find people that will be willing to work with you. It's a problem in the Ghanaian community. We don't know how to work together. Everybody want to be individualistic and do things on their own and try to show off to the next person. But what that does is it makes you weak because there's strength in numbers. You can only accomplish so much by yourself. If you have a group, if you have people that have the same mindset as you and you guys keep pushing, you will do way better. So let's try to get into working in groups, working as a team.
Yes, definitely. The most important part is you sharing that opportunity with other people. You share the risk also with them, because it's always hard. You're gonna hit hard if you over there don't share the risk with other people. Like you said, you invest $10,000 by yourself into a business and it doesn't go according to plan. Things are going to be crumbling very quickly for you. So if you share this with somebody, you're always going to share the risk also, and you're not gonna be hard hit as you if you would have won it by yourself. So let's talk to people. There are a lot of people with capitals that they're trying to get into stuff with. You know what I'm saying? Let's get with the lawyers, get the lawyers involved, sign contracts and stuff like that. So everybody is covered at the end of the day.
Yep. And the next on the list is we must learn how to support each other, like support each other's businesses or whatever each other's doing, to support and not just be haters. Most Ghanaians be haters. They don't know how to support each other. Like, you could have a Ghanaian doing any kind of business, whether the person is a basketball player or whatever business, or a musician or actor, actress, whatever they're doing. We must learn to support these people, because if they get on a better stage, they're able to go far. At the end of the day, it's the Ghanaian name that's getting pushed out there. And there's some, potential business benefits that could come from in there. So we must learn to support. You may not like everything the person is doing. The person might be selling products that are so expensive, but learn to support the Ghanaian business, support Ghanaian people, support each other. That's the only way, because you're giving your money to the Chinese guy or the Italian guy or whatever it is. You're throwing money out of the Ghanaian community, you know. There are Ghanaian communities in America that have restaurants and other stores and businesses and stuff like that. And then people don't go there because some people might feel like, I don't want to give my money to him or give my money to her, you know. That's all bad. Support Ghanaian businesses. Let's support each other.
Yeah, it's so important, man. Once a brother or sister is doing something, we got to give them support. Maybe financially by patronizing their products and their services, more telling them encouraging words, you know, giving them that strength, the moral support that they need. We should not always be those guys with that negative approach and stuff to what others are doing. Because all these guys, all we need is numbers. At the end of the day, we have the numbers. I've been saying this for some time now. I don't know why we don't have African Ghanaian Bank in the Bronx with all the number of people that we have here. All right, these are some of the things that we can come together and look into it. But that's for another time. So let's support each other, patronize each other's services and products and goods. And at the end of the day, we will come up on top. Because if a Ghanaian makes it, he's bringing the most of it back home to go support and help others. And you don't know who back there will benefit from what others are sending home. So let's give our brothers the support that they need.
Yep. And the next on the list is most Ghanaians should learn to share knowledge. You know, if a Ghanaian has any kind of information about any way of making money or anything, they want to keep it to themselves. They will never, ever share with anybody. They're going to go to the grave with it. They will never share it. It's funny because it's not like that with other nationalities, you know. They're always sharing information. They always want you to know what's going on and giving you the information so you could also, you know, do something about it or improve your life with it. But when it comes to the Ghanaian community, they keep it to themselves. They will never, ever give you the information. They will rather use it and be successful and look at you like you stupid. You know?
Yes.
We need to learn to share information because, you know, if anything happened to you, a Ghanaian will be in a better position to help you than anybody else. You know, they could understand you. They could feel for you more than any nationality. So you want to make sure that you share information, we share knowledge, and, you know, we build on it. You don't want to keep everything to yourself. Share knowledge. Talk about money. Talk about ways to make money. Talk about whatever way that you're using that is working for you. Don't be scared that somebody's going to pick the same idea and run with it. Competition is always good because it brings the best out of you. Somebody, you know, take your idea, they try to run with it. You try to be the best in whatever you're doing. Push yourself. Don't be scared. Help people. That's another way of helping, you know. Giving out information, share knowledge. Knowledge is very, very, very important in America. Let's share knowledge among ourselves. Let's talk about money, business ideas, and try to, you know, push ourselves and try to be the best we can.
Definitely, that's so important. We have to share knowledge. We have to teach each other what we're doing that's beneficial to us. But on the same note, our brothers and sisters should also stop with the backbiting and stuff like that. Because that's one of the reasons why people don't want to be sharing their knowledge and other things with others. All right. Let's say I do live in, I'm working, taking care of some old lady. You know, I have an emergency back home that I have to go back to Ghana and take care of it. And I ask you, a sister or brother, hey, can you cover for me while I'm down there taking care of my business? Next thing you know, this person is telling your clients, whoever your clients or agency or whatever they are, hey, this person is that, this person is this, so don't work with. No, let's stop these things. All right. So once we are able to stop these things and we can trust each other, people will be more than happy to let you know what they're doing that's making the money and stuff like that. But on the same token, let's also still look past that and share information amongst ourselves.
Yep. Knowledge is key. And the last on the list is to stop competing among each other. Stop competing among each other. This is crazy because, you know, in the Ghanaian community, they only compete among each other. They see that this person bought this nice car, they want to go buy the same thing. This person bought a house. They're looking into buying a house too. This person started this business. They want to do the same thing too. This person did this. But if any other nationality do something, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of competing among each other, come together and compete against other nationalities. You know, competition brings the best out of you, all right, but you don't want to compete against your fellow Ghanaian. Why you want to compete against your fellow Ghanaian? Like, compete among other nationalities. Come together. Other nationalities are already doing it. They're coming together and they're building strong communities. There's some places in America that, you know, when you come to the Bronx, they have Italian neighborhoods. When you go there, the Italians own all the building. There are places in Queens that has Chinese neighborhoods. The Chinese run the place. They have the Mexican places. They have the Spanish. Where's the Ghanaian community?
167 in Sheridan.
Ghanaian community just in apartments, just renting places and stuff. They're not owning nothing, so they can't really claim those places. The Ghanaian community in 167 that are all renting apartments over there. How many? Some probably own the apartments. Who knows? But it's just talk. You know what I'm saying? It's not on paper. It's just talk. The other communities that we're talking about is on paper.
Yeah, as much as others will argue that our competition brings the best out of us, so we should, encourage competition and stuff like that. On the same token, there is a high probability, and there are a lot of unhealthy competitions amongst Ghanaians. All right, one sees somebody doing something like around a corner from where they're at, they want to set up the same business in that same area. You can look for another spot and also beginning there. Who knows? That place that a person didn't start like that. He went there, opened up a store, a barbershop, African restaurant, African market, and it developed that place. You find a location, you build what the person has done in that location. And because it's funny how you can take one corner, one area, and you can count about 5 African barbershops or restaurants. And I understand there are a lot of Ghanaians there, but hey, that 181st and that place on Grand Conquest where they have that restaurant, there weren't a lot of Africans, but now people drive from places to go there to go eat. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's stop with the unhealthy competition. Good competition is all good. Let's go for it. But the unhealthy ones, let's not.
Yep.
And also doing things because you see somebody with a new car, so even if you can afford it or cannot afford it, you have to go for it. I know a guy whose friend rented an apartment and furnished it. All right, the guy's parents were living in London. They sent that guy money to pay for all these things. The other guy could not afford it, but since the friend did it, he has to also do it by borrowing from others and stuff like that. Let's not kill ourselves to in these unhealthy competitions. You don't need it. You don't have to.
Yeah, save your money and try to build wealth with it. Don't try to compete with your fellow Ghanaian who came to America to make money just like you. You know what I'm saying? Learn the system and try to use the system to your advantage. Trying to benefit from it. Trying to be the best you can. Compete among other people. I mean, I wouldn't even say compete. I'm saying learn from these people and try to do the same thing, or ask for ideas or how you did this. Maybe the way they did it might help you. Maybe it might not. You never know. Don't just sit there and try to feel like, let me show this person that I could do the same thing.
How much money are you gonna make if you see a brother driving a new car, and because of that, since he's driving a new car, you go and get you a new car too? How much money are you gonna be making from that?
You're gonna put yourself in huge debt just to compete and try to be like other people. So it's not always the best. You don't want to find yourself doing those things. So, find time, go through all the lists, everything that we put out there to help you. These are some of the ways that we could use to build generational wealth. We got, different generations that are going to come after us. We want to make sure that we, give them a platform or something to stand on, stepping stone, so they could build on top of it. And the next generation will come and build on top of it. Because if we don't build no generational wealth, our kids, our children are going to go through the same thing. They're going to go through the same life that we live in, and everything will be the same. Nothing will change. So you want to make sure that, like Alex was saying, to leave a legacy or to leave some kind of wealth for your children's children.
And it says that in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 22, it says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Right. So if you want to go to heaven, I guess this is one of the obligations that you're gonna fulfill. Right. All right. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for listening.
That's all for today. Until we meet again next time, never stop learning. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to our channel. Email us at themoneymatterspodcast@gmail.com.